Folks, in today's video, there's two people I want to address. First, it is Clement Manyathela, and then the second one is Ramaphosa. Ladies and gentlemen, Clement Manyathela is at an event that was put together by Stellenbosch University. They talk about social justice, and the main focus on this specific summit was food insecurity in South Africa and around the world. And I just need you to observe the hypocrisy of Ramaphosa. And Clement Manyathela works for the SABC. He's a journalist. The SABC, when it comes to their news, they always say we are impartial. But Clement Manyathela is not impartial. I need you to see how he drools over Ramaphosa. Clement Manyathela is a hardworking man, eloquent speaker. Respect that guy, respect his work. But at the end of the day, he's in the pockets of these presidents and of the establishment media that is working so hard to destroy us, independent podcasters. They want to regulate us, and they say we give people fake news. And I want you to assess the situation for yourself. Watch this video and see if you will get fake news from me. I promise you, we don't give fake news over here. And if you like my content, hit the sub button, hit the like button. Look at Clement Manyathela drooling over Ramaphosa, and then we are going to go to where Ramaphosa begs for applauses. He says something and then the people just look at him. They are not clapping, they are not doing nothing, and he begs for applauses. And to that we say, embarrassing. Ladies and gentlemen,
is our sign language interpreter here with me. I would like to take this opportunity as well to acknowledge and welcome the Honorable President Cyril Ramaphosa. President, welcome. And don't worry, Mr. President, I gave strict instruction to the lighting team to keep the lights very bright to avoid the trauma.
They're cracking jokes, bro. But I get it. My guys just securing the bag, Just get the money. They're stealing our money, these politicians, so make as much money as possible from them. Is his modus operandi. I like this guy. Shout out to him. No homo. Pause. But he's a great guy, works very hard, and I think a lot of young guys must look up to him, But hypocrisy right here, man. The SABC is not impartial because this is their main journalist over there. Of the youngest journalists they have at the SABC, this is the most useful tool they have to push this woke propaganda machine that they are pushing onto the people of South Africa.
In Washington, D.C. We have other special guests here with us, Mr. President. Minister Nkosi Mzama Buthelezi, the Minister of...
You saw the drooling, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, look at this.
Delivery, and said it must be now 2 meals a day, breakfast and lunch, because as children come to school in the morning, they invariably never have had breakfast at home. They must therefore get breakfast and lunch. Now, I know you all have your breakfast and lunch every
Look at
day,
him.
but many of these children...
I know you all have your breakfast and lunch. He's trying to be relatable, but instead, he's insulting the people of South Africa because Ramaphosa gets his breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snacks in between, paid for by our tax rent. He has the audacity to say this to the people, virtue signal. The virtue signaling of the ANC and the SABC, the establishment media, all of them, News 24, is on another level. The PSYOP, these people, they are working together. The PSYOP is amazing. If you are somebody that's aware, this is just... I cannot believe they do this.
Don't. So when we say this, when I say this in community meetings, they applaud. Please applaud as well.
Oh, man. I'm telling you. The people in there can tell that this guy is speaking bogus. He's preaching bogus. So the president right here, ladies and gentlemen, talks about grants. He says, grants, they work. Listen to this.
Security. The National Income Dynamics Study, the Coronavirus Rapid Mobile Survey, known as the NIDS CRAM survey, found that the Social Relief of Distress, SRD, well, I call it the 350 rand grant introduced during COVID-19 reduced the number of people below the food poverty line by 2 million.
That's a bogus study, bro. First of all, that's a bogus study. He's trying to generate a narrative that these things work. Of course, that study was paid for by this government, so it's going to support them. Do not ever be faced by professors, ladies and gentlemen, and academics who come to you and tell you, no, this study, we've done a study, so important. It is gospel truth, you must listen. Bogus. These people are only loyal to whoever is funding their study. They'll write anything and everything under the sun as long as they get the funding. That's it. That's it.
In 2021. Now, studies from the Department of Social Development show that the overwhelming majority of SRD recipients spend the grant on food.
Why? He'll say this because, he exists over there in Sandton. Nabo hangwane maomela. The people who build their houses with corrupt and stolen money. Money that was supposed to build hospitals in this country. He hangs around those people there in Sandton. Very far removed from the realities of ordinary South Africans like you and I. These people hate us. They hate us because they are not like us. Ladies and gentlemen. They hate us because they ain't us.
The Department of Agriculture is leading implementation of the National Food and Nutrition Security Plan to coordinate national actions towards food security.
Crazy.
Now, we've got a number of other programs. The Ilima, the Ilitsima program.
Yeah, those are programs that they have put there as agricultural extensive services. But even then, our farmers are struggling because they are faced with a lot of regulations and legislation that makes it difficult to farm and make money in South Africa. Just like it is difficult to make money in any other industry where the government has interfered and has had their claws. As we exist over here on the internet, they are trying to come over here and regulate and legislate our speech now. Now, we can't say things because no, we're going to upset some people in government. And you remember that Minister of Women, Gender, that very useless ministry? She was on a quest to say they must bring McG to parliament for him to account on statements he's made. Isn't this a free speech country? Not that you support McG, but as a freedom-loving South African, I support their freedom of speech. I support their ability to offend me and to put opinions out there that I disagree with. You cannot come here and tell us you're going to legislate us. They want to legislate us as they have gotten very deep into the agricultural ministry, in mining, finance, the food industry, medicine, you name it, even the taxi industry. But those ones, ladies and gentlemen, I think they must be very legislated because those guys are very violent, Don't come here and try to tell us now you are going to legislate our speech. Who are you? I think that is just bogus if you ask me, ladies and gentlemen. So, I don't know if this is, what do they call it? Man, the English can't come now. It's a slip of his mouth. It's a slip of his tongue. He says, I wrote this down, ladies and gentlemen. He says, social justice can exist without hunger. Listen to this, folks.
So I urge this summit to reaffirm the conviction that social justice cannot exist in the absence of hunger.
Freudian slip. That's what it is. Comes from his own mouth, from the horse's mouth. They allow hunger to be there so that they can come up with their policies of social justice. No, social justice works. We need social justice. We're going to fund it and then loot. I mean, you look at that social ministry, social development ministry. Bogus, if you ask me. A lot of money has been looted there. People are talking about the Tembisa hospital. But if the SIU can also extend its investigative skills to the social development ministry, we will realize and uncover how much money has been stolen and looted there. I'm telling you, man, these people are evil. They're gonna give me gray hair. You see, I'm a young man. My hairline is already going. My hairline is already gone. I mean, yeah, because I stress about adults who steal instead of building and try to psyop everybody into believing that no, you know what? Apartheid is the problem. We are where we are as a country because white people stole from us during apartheid. These people. No shame, bro. Just stands there and starts virtue signaling. That's Ramaphosa for you. That's Ramaphosa for you. And then he's going to go into talking about Israel now. That Israel is evil. It was stopping people from Gaza and Palestine from getting food. Where do we enter in this thing of Israel and Hamas and Palestine when 28,000 people get murdered in South Africa per year? 28,000. Over 78 per day. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to him virtue signaling about Israel.
Let it remind us that the realization of the right to food is not only a measure of policy success, but it is a test of our collective conscience. It should be a test of our collective conscience. And food
Bro, he doesn't even believe these things.
should never be used as a weapon, as we have seen in other conflicts in the world. There are conflicts that are going on where food and nutrition is now being used against other populations. Now,
Yeah, then those people who are paid to clap now. Now they are clapping now. Virtue signaling about Palestine and Israel.
now Israel has been accused by UN experts and humanitarian organizations
And you and Naledi Pando.
of weaponizing food in Gaza by restricting access to essential supplies, but much worse, by destroying agricultural infrastructure and contributing to famine.
Ladies and gentlemen, this government of the ANC has also destroyed the agriculture in South Africa. I mean, for me, it's not even about what is happening in Gaza. It's about their virtue signaling. It is so horrible, you know. Let me bring this close to you. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Me, I asked Grok, you know, we are a generation of Grok. These people who say we shouldn't take our sources from Grok. Let me tell you something. Me, I'm going to take my sources from Grok because Grok knows everybody in the imam. Grok knows Reuters, it knows MSNBC, it knows Google, it knows News 24, propaganda, fake news, it knows ENCA, same dustbin of fake news. It knows all of them. Now, when I ask Grok, old people, is going to give me information. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, though. Shout out to the old people, the senior citizens of this country. We love you guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, the National Poverty Breakdown by Grok says using the UBPL, 55.5% of South Africans, which is 35 million people, lived in poverty in 2015. Last full stats SA trends report. Adjusted for inflation, population growth, and economic stagnation, this rose to approximately 62%. That is 39 million people. Ladies and gentlemen, over half of the population is living in abject poverty in South Africa. No, they are there virtue signaling. They are there virtue signaling, telling us about, you know, Israel is evil. What about you? Have you looked in the mirror, bro? And it's like, me, when it comes to Israel and Palestine, I'm indifferent. I don't even want to have that conversation because it doesn't add nothing to my life. Absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? This is what I want to talk about. The poverty in South Africa. This is what concerns me. They are over there virtue signaling. Talking about, no, we are a nation of Ubuntu. Ubuntu works. Then Ramaphosa has a slip of a tongue telling us about, you know, social justice can exist without hunger. So we are going to manufacture hunger so that we generate this social justice legislation. This is what he just told us. This is what he just opened up to us. Cupcake, poor cupcake. Whoever wrote that speech did him dirty without even being aware. You know what I'm saying? Hypocrites of the highest order. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the firest, youngest political YouTube channel in South Africa. Fast rising platform hit that sub button, hit the like button, open your notifications, because we the people see the truth and we are on the behind. I'm on the behind. Pause. Oh, politicians and mainstream media hate to see us coming. That's all I'm gonna say. Otherwise, yeah.